Hey everybody, I hope you have been well. My name is Edvardo Archer. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and listen, it's my mission, and I make videos about teaching people how to strive in their challenges and not being bullied by the circumstances. And this conversation today, I think, is a very important part of that. Here's the concept. Here's the idea that I want to talk to you about. How do you bring all of yourself to challenging situations? How to bring all of yourself, you know? So here's a story, and by the way, everything I talk about here has chapters, so you can go down into YouTube and click on the nuggets that you want right now, or just roll with me, you know, and listen to this experience I just walked through. So imagine this. About a month ago, I found myself sitting at the very end of this large church auditorium in Cincinnati. And I was surrounded by inspiring and amazing people. This was a mission to connect, to come up with ideas together, to share resources. I mean, it was just an amazing place to be. And I'm sitting there all the way in the back in the nosebleed section, not feeling it, like completely disengaged, disconnected. I didn't want to be there. Let me give you some context. This is my second week of traveling. You know, the week before I was traveling for another conference. So I've been away from my family for going on 2 weeks at this point. The day before the beginning of this conference, I was in my hotel room hunched over the toilet with like a stomach flu. And so if you imagine, that's 24 hours of like going to hell and back with like the fear of COVID and all these other pieces that I was walking through alone in my hotel room. And so I finally got a clear COVID. I got my stomach cleared up, and I showed up to this first introductory session, and I was not feeling it. And so the issue that I was struggling with at this moment was like a number of things up in the air. You know, one, look, history has been beaten on me this entire time. Like, how am I going to even try to focus on what's happening? I'm not in my comfort zone. That's another thing that was happening. I'm an introvert, and I'm surrounded by people that just want to shake my hand and have a conversation. Nah, okay? and the other big thing that was happening is like, these are amazing people doing amazing things. Who am I, you know, to get into these conversations and try to see if there's something I can get from it or offer? And that's when it hit me, Eddie, if you're going to be here, you need to be here. You know, if you're going to engage this conference, you're going to have to bring all of yourself to it. And through that conversation I had internally, I kind of discovered these two principles that allowed me to bring all of myself into that conference and actually enjoy it. I mean, I exited that conference with brand new ideas on how I'm going to implement things, on how I'm going to navigate life and the work that I do locally in my area. So here's the two principles that I want to share to help you bring all of yourself to your challenges. One is you have to let go of what you think about yourself. Okay, and the second one is you have to hold on to what you know about yourself. Okay, all right. Let me break it down so that you're getting a sense of what I'm talking about here. So first thing, you have to let go of what you think about yourself, right? And that has to do with the assumptions and judgments that we carry based on our context and our environment, right? So our context and environment, there's assumptions and this idea of, there's consequences and rewards based on your behavior, based on what you do. You have to talk to the right person. You have to be in the right place. You have to say the right thing, the funny thing, so that people are drawn to you. And you're constantly kind of struggling with the assumptions of what's happening in your environment. And I just want to highlight this. Nobody is really thinking about you. Everybody's kind of thinking about themselves in their own mind. And we gotta cut off the cycle of that. Part one, to bring all of yourself to what you're doing in the moment, is you have to let go of what you think about yourself. All right, and part two, and this is where we start to get actionable, we have to start thinking about what we know about ourselves. You have to start the here and now. The thinking is you trying to land in areas and situations and places that you have no control over. You have no control over the outcome of how people will consider you or think about you or your significance. Let that go. One of the first things to do is to tune your mind and your body to this present moment, like right now, what's happening. Because that's concrete, that's real, okay? That is that's something that you can actually put your hands on and know. All right, get grounded. So another piece to grappling and holding on to what you know about yourself, everyone should have at least a dozen favorite problems in their mind. These favorite problems have more to do with general sense of purpose, things that I'm curious about for my life, things that I want to implement and discover and make sense of. Let me read out a couple of my favorite problems. One is, how can I navigate fear and boldly step to my ordained space of authority, right? And again, this is a personal life, curiosity that I'm looking for. Here's another one. How can I create emotional stability and relational courage for my sons? Focused on my family, and my boys. And another problem, I mean, these could be random. One is, how can photography be used to capture the fabric of memories, right? So these are things that I actively ask. And so whenever new information comes across my desk or a new conversation and it connects right back to one of these areas that I am interested in, and I can actually dig in, with all of myself and really be curious. And so another piece to this is this idea of knowing what you're good at. And now in this challenging and new situation, you want to start to think about, well, how can I add to or enhance this skill set or this tool or this presence or this value that I bring to people? All right, so there you go. Those two principles, to let go what you think about yourself and also to hold on to what you know about yourself, allow you to put down the things that you can't control. Put down the things that are weighing on you and adding to you, the history, the fear, the unknowns that you're dealing with. You can let that go when you stop thinking about who you are and instead hold on to what you know about yourself, like your talent, your skills, like what is here and now, as well as what are the main problems, the mission points in my life that I'm striving to understand and I want to add to. All right. Well, I hope that's helpful, and I hope it allows you to meet whatever next challenge you're facing today with a sense of knowing who you are. All right, guys, take care. I'll talk to you on the next video.